breaking. Armed woman arrested after ramming a van into the White House fence. She has previously been arrested twice for trying to climb the fence. 3 failed attempts to get into the White House. Who does she think she is? Hillary Clinton? And then no one laughs, he waits and he's like, Hillary Clinton? The new Bloomberg cover is a work of art, and it's Marky Mark and the Zucker Bunch, just sitting right there. The apology machine, Facebook says it cares, is that enough? What are you thinking about, Mark? Ooh, that's a lot of code. That's a lot of code, Marky. Marky Mark. Speak, I am sorry. Do you accept insults, you absolute buffoon? Buffoon. A moron who thinks he is smarter than others but cannot spell the word buffoon. That bonehead wrote a letter to the newspaper calling Steve Jobs a buffoon. How embarrassing would that be? Oh no, you messed up, Charles. Plan B is a personal robotic bee designed to mimic how bees pollinate flowers and crops. Instead of saving the environment and helping actual bees, let's spend billions on robots that do what bees would do for free. What's up, bro? Do you think I've peed 1 million times in my life? Heck nah, son. Are you freaking dumb? Boy, you about to get roasted. The average human urinates 6 to 8 times a day. If you've been doing that since you were born, that is 52,560 at the high side of that average. That number, resembling nowhere near a million, had to have been configured by a dim-witted moron. That's you. You would have to be at least 348 years old, peeing 8 times a day to pee 1 million times, or pee 34 times a day and live to 80. If a 12-year-old is roped by her father and the father takes her to get an abortion, the evidence of the crime will be destroyed and he'll go on molesting his victim for years. If, however, the child is born, his crime will be discovered and she'll be rescued from the abuse. I don't know about that, Matt Walsh. I don't think I like a 12-year-old giving birth. Doctor, oh sorry mate, if I heal up your stab wound, then the evidence of the stabbing will be gone and your attacker will go free. However, if I leave it open and have you very slowly bleed to death, we might just catch this guy and prevent all future stabbings. Chickenpox at 8 years and shingles around 38 years. I'm still living. No need to vaccinate. One of my mates got hit by a car. He lived. I guess we don't need any of those road safety laws. Congratulations on wasting $100 billion landing a remote-controlled buggy on Mars. Not sure how this is supposed to help us poor people here on Earth, but great job. Jens is going off. The money doesn't get sent to Mars, idiot. Oh, they broke out the I word. It gets spent and put back into the economy. Just because the government isn't hand-feeding it to you, that doesn't mean it left America. If we removed the church from tax exemption, we'd have enough money to send a rover to Mars once every 2 weeks forever. Not to mention it only cost $2.5 billion, which is what the US military spends every 33 hours. And we spend $7 billion on potato chips a year. Yet, NASA is the bad guy, lol. Why are the world wars called the world wars when it was only a bunch of white countries beefing over who gets to control and screw up the world the most? Why does everything white suddenly become the world? Ah, yes. The world wars were white. Remember the white countries, Japan, China, Egypt, Libya, Morocco, Iraq, Brazil, the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Burma, and Ethiopia in the world wars? So white. All girls with A cups need to stop wasting money on bras and just buy some tank tops like the rest of the homies. All guys with little wieners need to stop wasting money on boxers and just buy some panties like the rest of the girlies. I agree with that one. Being a heterosexual during Pride Month is like being a Jew back in Nazi Germany. Who sold you this take? Because that is a bad one, my friend. That is a terrible, terrible take. It's true. A sympathetic gay couple have sheltered me in their attic for the last 5 days. The Gestapo came yesterday and interrogated my benefactors, but they didn't search the house. At least, not this time. I'm putting them in terrible danger, but I don't know what else to do. I know what happens to those who protect breeders. They know it too. How long will they be willing to risk their lives for me? I trust them. I have to. What happens when the closet police come back, though? What happens when they're forced to choose between their safety and mine? Pray it doesn't come to that. A crowd was marching in the street today. I could hear them chanting, "Yes, Queen!" through the walls of my hiding place. I can't tell if it's the stomp of their thigh-high boots or my own shaking, but it feels like an earthquake. An earthquake inside my own head. God, there's so many of them. I need to stay positive, but I could feel the spidery thread of hope slipping through my fingers. Why didn't I listen after Homo knocked? I could have left. There was still time, but I didn't listen. There's no escape now. Only hiding. Hiding and waiting for Pride Month to be over. And scene. This is an elementary school in Ireland. Within a decade, I guarantee the Gaelic language and culture will cease to exist. Yeah, the English who spent hundreds of years trying to destroy Irish culture aren't the problem. 20 black kids are. If your ex texts you, "I still love you, I want you back," what will be your reply? See, this is why I left you. Always texting your frickin' exes. Thanks, Jacoby. Tell us about your daily commute. What makes it great? What would you want to change? Hashtag City of Tomorrow. What do you guys say about that, Spencer? Actually going to work on like the 7,000 people you just laid off? Is that what you want to change, or is that what makes it great? You didn't specify here, Spencer. I'm a little confused. So I'm at a friend's restaurant for lunch, and this guy at the bar is complaining about a dish using the word bland multiple times like it hurts. Gives him power. He really knows what it means. Or the dish is actually bland. Hint, it's not. I was having the same freaking thing and I've had it multiple times before. So the owner walks over, offers to get him a new serving. No. New meal? No. Dude just wants to complain and he goes, I wouldn't serve this to a homeless person. And with like a 1 second delay, the owner goes, well, yes, you strike me as someone who believes the homeless don't deserve to eat. Talk about seeing someone deflate and fast. Well played. Thanks, the angry bartender. America was founded on Christian values and the Word of God. If you don't like Christianity, then go to a different country and practice whatever you want. Ray, as the government of the United States of America is not, in any sense, founded on the Christian religion, as it has in no self, no character of enmity against the laws, religion, or tranquility. What do you guys say about that, Kalan? Kalan, Alan with a silent K. I don't know what your name is, but what do you got to say about that? Single woman's title, Miss. Married woman's title, Mrs. Unknown woman's title, Miss. Married man's title, Mr. Single man's title, Mr. Unknown man's title, Mr. Because a woman only has status if she is married. Think about it. Add an apostrophe to Mrs. Misters. Think about it, and then go throw up. Actually, that's entirely incorrect. For men in the UK and in other English-speaking countries, Master is used for boys under 18, example Master John Smith. When he becomes a man, he gets the title Mr. The women's title structure is similarly designed. Miss refers to a girl typically where Mrs., short for mistress, the female equivalent of Mr., not Misters as you suggest, is for a married woman. In the early 20th century, however, Miss was reintroduced specifically to give an unmarried woman a title that wasn't as insulting as calling an adult woman Miss or an unmarried one Mrs. Today, Miss is usually used by adult women of married, unmarried, or divorced status, which is safe to use if unsure about her preferred title. Next time, fact check before you go on the offensive. There are really worthy causes out there which need help and attention, but historically inaccurate styles of address isn't really one of them. Honestly, climate change scares the heck out of me and it makes me so sad to see what we're losing because of it. Maybe you should learn some actual science then, and stop listening to the criminals pushing the global warming scam. I don't know, man. I already went and got a PhD in astrophysics. Seems like more than that would be overkill at this point. Nah, just do it. Just do it. Just do it, stupid. Just get science. How much do you get paid for each HPV vaccine? Less than the florist gets paid for the flowers at the funeral for someone who dies from HPV-related cancer. Dang, Chad. Trump's pick for ICE director. I can tell which migrant children will become gang members by looking into their eyes. Can he tell which white kids will end up being school shooters? No such thing as white African. You cannot claim ancestry from a country you murdered your way into. Africa isn't a frickin' country. In the most northern part of the continent of Africa, white people are native to those lands. And it's called immigration, you frickin' idiot. If there are no white Africans, then there are no black Americans or Europeans. During the 18th century, the politician John Montagu insulted rival John Wilkes by saying, "Upon my soul, Wilkes, I don't know whether you'll die upon the gallows or of syphilis." To which Wilkes replied by saying, "That will depend, my lord, on whether I embrace your principles or your mistress." Ooh. The "can I speak to the manager" haircut. Wow, I really can't believe how people can be so judgmental over a flipping haircut. Yes, my hair has been different lengths of this style for years. I've gotten nothing but compliments on my hair, but then again, everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but you don't have to be such jerks about it. Would you like to speak to the page administrator about this? Ladies, a priest I know was forced on Sunday to ask a woman at Mass to cover her shoulders. Please help the priest to protect the purity of the men at Holy Mass by choosing to dress modestly. The alternative is awkward for all involved. Thank you. And if your eye causes you to sin, gouge it out. It's better to enter the kingdom of God with only one eye than to have two eyes and be thrown into hell. Mark 9:47. If a man's purity is at risk in seeing a woman's shoulder, you should plug out his eyes. When is Hollywood gonna stop piggybacking off of classics by using a female lead and essentially remaking the same movies? And for all of you feminists who say anything positive about this, you're being taken advantage of by Hollywood. They just see you as an easy target market. Hollywood has become so lazy. You know that Linda Hamilton is a leading woman in both Terminator 1 and 2, correct? Wait, is that from Arnold himself? Men wear $60 boxers for $3 worth of wiener. Women wear Victoria's Secret panties for coochie that ain't no secret. No vaccine in my day, or my kids' day, and hey, we all got it and survived. I guess the older generations were just more robust in the day's tender flowers. If you hate advancement and the improvements modern technology has brought us so much, get off Facebook and carve your whining into a stone tablet.
Maybe some mothers are toxic because they're burnt out from doing it all alone because of absent fathers. Sorry I abused you, honey, but I was just so mad about your dad leaving. And you see, I had to take it out on someone close to me instead of going to therapy to manage my anger like a normal human being. So you see, it's really not my fault. Love you, hun. Kisses. At 22, most of my peers are financing cars, traveling every week, getting drunk every week, while I am finding ways to increase my income, connecting with people everywhere, making smart financial decisions, and still enjoying the present. Life is about choices. At 22, most of my peers are having fun, being cool, having sex, while I am jacking off to the Bloomberg terminal, making women uncomfortable, eating only unseasoned chicken. Life is about choices. I'm heavier than a whale, but I can float over a mountain. Which emoji am I? A company that doesn't let their workers unionize. That's what you are. Ain't that the truth? And it's a scary truth. I'm a clinical neuropsychologist and have co-written When Crisis Strikes, 5 Steps to Heal Your Brain, Body, and Life from Chronic Stress with Dr. Jennifer Love. Ask us anything. I'm curious, you mention evidence-based, but your book has a foreword by Daniel Amen, and in this AMA, you direct people to the Amen Clinic. I'm sure you're aware Daniel Amen is widely regarded by the medical establishment as a charlatan and modern-day snake oil salesman. I'm curious how you reconcile your medical and clinical neuropsychological training with the pseudoscience that you're directing people towards at the Amen Clinic. You're a piece of crap. Maybe you should move to Africa. I have dual citizenship, so I actually can. Meanwhile, you'll be stuck here, smelling of mayonnaise and waiting on your cousin to text you back for that dick appointment. Ho-ho! British urgently want the blood of the Irish people. NHS says it is vital that Irish people in Britain step forward to donate blood. They could try checking their hands. Oh God. Doomers will drive a 2-ton hunk of metal at 50 miles per hour to the grocery store, but be afraid to actually enter the store. This is one of the funniest Doomer bits, in my opinion. For 99% of the population, driving to stores is far more dangerous than actually going in them. When it comes to automobiles, we've collectively decided that they make our lives much better, and so we have to live with the costs as they're unavoidable. Why can't we do the same with this virus? Oh boy, here we go. On average, 24,000 people die each year in car crashes in the United States, according to data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. COVID has now killed approximately 430,000 people in the US. I know math can be hard sometimes, but it's important to acknowledge that statistically speaking, COVID is by far the deadlier of these two things. It's not even close. Stay safe, mask up. But car dangerous. Why care about virus? There's no legitimate reason to ban transgender troops, period. Except when you're in a life or death situation and you aren't comfortable trusting the person next to you, but that doesn't matter, right? Brian, the enemy has surrounded us and we have nowhere to run. I don't think we're gonna get out of this. I have a plan that might save us, but I don't know if I can trust you. Hurry, show me your dick. It's the only way, Brian, the only way. I must see your genitals. Keep your personal business preferences to yourself. We put way too much on social media. Talk to your actual friends. Seeing as how you've documented it on social media, I'm guessing it's not too personal to ask this. Did a lack of self-awareness play a part in your divorce? Eating chips with chopsticks is unironically galaxy brain. Your fingers don't get greasy and it lasts for longer. Fork. Oh yeah, I'm gonna stab my crunchy foods and make them fall apart like an absolute, absent-minded, dunce, fool, clown, jester, like a monstrous moron, an idiot of Shakespearean proportions, a cretin. I feel like we cut it off before it got significantly better. Not to be that guy, but this isn't particularly difficult if you can juggle. That's really interesting. Are there other difficult things that can become easy once you learn how? Tried my hand at TikTok. This one struck a nerve. Vaccinate your kids. Vaccines work. Vaccines don't cause autism. Educate yourself, woman. I did, thanks. 4 years of college, 4 years of medical school, 3 years of pediatric residency, 13 years of clinical practice. Yeah, but I Google. We cannot encourage people to make more money in unemployment than they do in employment. Gee, I wonder why giving people enough to live on comes out to more than minimum wage.
Huh, that is a mystery.
People who perform blood rituals and commit murders in the name of Satanism are guilty of cultural appropriation? Wow, that is some massive cognitive dissonance on your part. Oh, someone brought out the cognitive dissonance big boy words. Satanism does not include blood rituals or murder. Anton LaVey was consulted by Hollywood directors on how to portray Satanism. He was in movies depicting Satanism. Why did he present it as such? He was in Kenneth Anger's Invocation of My Demon Brother. So, you have trouble understanding the difference between a fictional film and reality then? Is that what you're saying? Or are you arguing that Rosemary's Baby was a documentary? You don't think universal healthcare qualifies as a charity handout? It's people financing other people's problems. Hey Trent, if your house catches on fire, I don't want my taxes to go towards financing your problems with my charitable handouts. Be a man and call around to get some quotes on quality firefighting services, you lazy sh**. Islam is a lie. I'm an ex-Muslim. Jesus is the only way. Damn, what sect were you a part of? Nihari or Pulau? I think my family is Pulau. Bro, those are food dishes. Playing video games for 37 years and still successfully retired. I'm thinking of deleting my son's Steam account. Should I really do it when he has over 500 games? How miserable are you as a person to delete something your own son enjoys? Does he play video games too much? I guess there's better things to do, like go out on the streets, get involved with some drugs, maybe pick up hobbies like looting and rioting like the rest of the kids out there that hate their parents. I'm 42, retired, and played video games all my life. Video games don't stop you from succeeding in life. This might sound weird, but let your son be happy and safe at home playing video games. Go find some hobbies of your own that make you happy. If you can't, seek help professionally on how to find your own happiness without ruining others. No feeling in his playing. He's just overrated. Guitar is subjective, fellas. I used to know people in the 80s that said Stevie was contrived, BB was a soulless sellout, and Albert only had 3 licks. These arguments are as old as my guitar in this video. If you feel it, great. If you don't, that's fine too. We all love guitar around here. That we can all agree with. Why don't you just give him a chance? I don't know, because I'm not physically or mentally attracted to him, and but he likes you or but he's really nice isn't going to change the fact that I'm not interested. Damn, I don't think women know how much this really hurts. Oh boy. I don't understand this you don't know how much that hurts stuff. Do men not remember rejecting women? Have they forgotten that they hold us to impossibly high standards of behavior and beauty? That our personality alone is not enough for most men? Us being a nice person isn't what men list as their prime quality in a woman. How come we're rejected constantly, compared to each other, pitted against each other, and pretty much just accept this and move on? But the second we do that to a guy, we're a friend-zoning bitch. And we're shallow and heartless. Normally, the men complaining about rejection would have no problem finding a lovely girlfriend if they just expand their idea of beauty. If you're not a stereotypical hot guy, don't expect to pull a stereotypical hot chick. It's not every man's right to have an extremely attractive girlfriend. It's not your right to have any girlfriend. And if you wouldn't date a woman based purely on her having a nice personality, why the f*** should any woman date you? Heterophobia just isn't a big deal. The most I've ever seen heterophobia is from Twitter idiots. Neither is homophobia then. Dude, I can get legally killed in 10 countries just for being gay. Are straights getting killed for being straight? No. I'm illegal in over 70 countries. How many countries are you illegal in? Some people want to be oppressed so bad. When I was in school in the 80s, Ireland was just this dangling bit on maps that never got mentioned, here be dragon style. In school in Ireland, we just learn about all the ways the Brits terrorized and destroyed our culture. Oh, that's a shame. They should really find room for math and stuff. Yeah, we do math. It's like, imagine you have 10 exports, and the English charge you the cost of those 10 just to rent land that they stole from you and outlawed you owning. And then you end up with one food crop to support yourself on because it was cheap and could grow in very small spaces. And then famine hits. And what percentage chance do you have of surviving? The answer to this equation is genocide. My cousin got me a new shirt, Best Gay Cousin. My daughter's always been a #1 fan, but this is not appropriate for her at all. As for us, we'll be taking all the clothes, bows, and bedroom decor down. I'm really sad about this. We follow biblical principles, and this does not represent the Bible at all. Best wishes! Make sure to tell her the part in the Bible which says, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. Oh, and don't forget, do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. If you hide behind the Bible as an excuse for hating gay people, or really anybody else at all, you're not actually a Christian whatsoever, and I will never recognize you as such. Decriminalize all drugs? So when a violent crime is committed by someone high on drugs, for instance, driving high and vehicular homicide occurs, or going into a violent rage while on meth, the law has its hands tied and the victim of the crime has less rights than a drug user? Exactly. When they legalized alcohol, we literally stopped arresting people for driving drunk. You can literally kill someone while drunk and they can't even arrest you. Just say, alcohol's legal, and they have to let you go. Slowly but surely turning into a militant state with this controlling Nazi government. Yeah, you go ahead and do that. My uncle was captured on a submarine during World War II, and they were tortured. And you think Canada is run by a Nazi government because a few people are getting ticketed? Yeah, do us all a favor. Cross your legs, hold your nose, and fart. You might just clear your mind, you clown. Twitter won't let you hashtag 1984, a dystopian novel about an evil big tech government that spies on everyone, censors and manipulates speech, punishes wrong thought, and tortures dissidents for sport. There's Orwellian, and then there's banning references to Orwellian. Oh look, hashtag 1984. Not only is this using Twitter's hashtag correctly, but it's also the original title of the book before later publishers numericized the title for book covers. I got a puppy and it's clingy. It follows me to the kitchen and everywhere. I'm starting to lose interest in the dog. So why is my puppy so clingy? Dogs are social animals, and if he or she was raised by a mother dog and had siblings, he or she would be used to a social environment and enjoy that. If you don't have interest in having a companion, I would suggest that you find the puppy a home with someone who actually wants that kind of relationship. And maybe get something that doesn't need attention back from you, like a tablet or a gaming console or a rock. You adopt or purchase a pet and then freak out because it's a responsibility of any level? You're an actual idiot. Should police officers in the United States refuse to enforce executive orders on mask wearing and social distancing? Wow, that's a despicable poll. Police enforce laws, not orders. Mandated social distancing is clearly and unambiguously a violation of the right to free assembly. It's the duty of all officers and all government employees to refuse to enforce unconstitutional laws and orders. The fact that so many law enforcement officers are on record stating that they won't enforce social distancing or any new gun laws proves that they were full of shit when they said we don't get to pick what laws we enforce during the past several decades of the war on drugs. So it was a major assault on human rights when a small-town baker didn't make a cake for a gay wedding. But big tech monopolies using their power to silence all dissent is just a simple matter of freedom of association. That's the logic, and it's insane. Yo, this you? Oh, hey, look, Matt Wall said something else before. Let's simplify. All business owners should have the right to refuse service to any person or group for any reason. Matt, you're a dumbass. Kobe Bryant was a planned killing, just like they tried to get me. I dodged the ambush. Don't trust anybody. This is a big, dirty industry. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. You whipped and nay-nayed, and now absolutely no one knows who you are. And I know you're going to read this because you get no Twitter interactions, so speak back. Bruh. As a white Christian conservative male, oh boy, I support the school's gender-based dress code. Females should be chaste and not showing off their bodies, leading upstanding young men to temptation. Ban straight guys from driving. If they can't focus in school if girls show shoulders, how can they focus when driving by billboards with women jogging on them, or passing women on the sidewalk jogging in tank tops or shorts? Giving them control of automobiles is a public safety hazard. No new taxes, no bonds, no levies. Support spelling. Say yes to school bonds and levies. bloody loud sonic boom over cams, courtesy of whatever that was. Hi there. Please, can we share your picture in our breaking news coverage? We'll credit you. Thanks. The sun? Absolutely not. Don't you have a vulnerable minority to go and terrorize or something? How does it feel when you open the fridge at midnight, but the only snack is you? Pickup lines are only for men who are hot. Hope you know that. Damn. I really have no comeback for that. Guess we can call it quits and go our separate ways then. Just because you took it well, I'll give you a second shot. Try again. Second shots are only for women who are hot. Hope you know that. Cheers! When you tear out a man's tongue, you are not proving him a liar. You're only telling the world that you fear what he might say. If you tell a man to get off your lawn, you're preventing that man's freedom of walking wherever he wants. If you threaten that man with a gun for trespassing on your lawn, you're suppressing his freedom. Your analogy sucks. Try harder. No, sorry. If you draw a comic, but only allow exclusive members to view it, you're treating one community of people better than others. Sorry, but I don't claim that my website's a free speech platform. Oh, neither does Twitter. The biggest crime of the last 50 years is people fundamentally misunderstanding what the free speech is and what the First Amendment actually protects. Thousands of Chinese students ditch Australia and fly home. Uni has been hell for me and my friends thanks to them. Being put in groups where they don't speak English or even live in Australia makes matters 10,000 times worse. LMAO, every international student has to go through an English proficiency test called IELTS, and a score of 6.5 is never accepted in any good university. And any person who scores a mere 6.5 out of 9 has fairly good enough English skills, so you're either lying out of hatred or you studied in some la-di-blah university that no one even knows. No, he's racist. Did you not pick up on that? I have a pregnant wife who's demanding sushi. The doctor recommended against sushi, and I want to be a good husband, but I also don't want to die. Solutions? I don't know. Probably just talk about how you make fun of abuse victims and hopefully she'll leave you. Problem solved, Steven. God, I can't wait for his meme to officially die one day. I'd still do him. Word. No homo. No. Every homo intended. Perks of being bisexual. I'm not bisexual. I prefer the term heteroflexible. Heteroflexible generally falls under bisexual though, but I get ya. Straight and cis people will do anything to avoid being called what they are. And yet, you seem to want everyone to call you a wanker. So a high school junior should make $15 per hour? Oh boy, here we go. Yep, because wages are about the cost of labor, not your opinion about its value. If you get the kid's labor but he still can't feed himself, the taxpayers make up the difference, which means we subsidize your stinginess. We don't make laws based on what we assume a worker's life situation is. We have child labor laws that address the age at which someone can or should earn a wage. Once they're workers, they're the same under the law. So yeah, exploiting young people is kinda morally bankrupt anyway. I'll never understand the thought process behind young equals stupid and deserves to go through horrible bullshit. Boomers really just want to keep us young folks in a subservient position as long as they can before they die, dude.
Christadelphian meeting room, Bible address every Sunday. Evolution is a lie! And then someone posted a neat little sign that said, if you have evidence to disprove evolution, then write it down, get it peer-reviewed, and collect your Nobel Prize. Should Australia look at changing its negative gearing rules? I don't know what the negative gearing rules are. 57% yes, 43% no. This man in blue says, of course, the free ride is over, boomers. Time to actually work for something for the first time in your lives. Then gentleman in red says, how remarkably stupid your comment is. How do you think that boomers created the wealth to place a deposit on properly? You didn't create anything. You were given it by your parents' efforts post-war, and then you squandered it during the 70s, 80s, and 90s on a consumerist, degenerate lifestyle that poisoned our air, ruined any chance of a stable economy for short-term gains, promoted the kind of economic management that saw the greatest economy ever seen crippled with debt, and literally left some parts of this planet too polluted to inhabit. You're the only generation to leave your children with less than you had for the first time in the history of humanity. You created nothing. Boomers are a pathetic stain on the scorecard of history, and if it were up to me, you'd be taking numbers next to a long wall. Boomer versus Zoomer, dude. From Chase Bank. You. Why is my balance so low? Bank account. Make coffee at home. Eat the food that's already in the fridge. You don't need a cab. It's only 3 blocks. I guess we'll never know. Seriously? Hashtag Monday Motivation. And then Elizabeth Warren, that bag of wrinkles, replied with, at Chase, why aren't customers saving money? Taxpayers. We lost our jobs, /homes, /savings, but gave you a $25 billion bailout. Workers. Employers don't pay living wages. Economists. Rising costs plus stagnant wages equals zero savings. I also probably said economists wrong. It's probably economists. I don't know. Chase. Guess we'll never know. Everyone. Seriously? Hashtag money motivation. Two dads. Two dads. Two dads. Gotta love the double dad ensemble. I actually really like the term double dad. Bring my children a double dad. Anyway, from the unpopular opinions, fair enough, I really hate seeing children at gay rallies. In most cases, they don't understand what they're doing and what they're promoting. I think most children are pressured into going to gay rallies by their parents and therefore pressured into believing gay marriage. And then Mikasa Blumpkins responds with this little gem. I really hate seeing children in churches. In most cases, they don't understand what they're doing and what they're promoting. I think most children are pressured into going to churches by their parents and, therefore, pressured into believing a magic man out of the sky who will send them to hell if they touch themselves or eat shrimp. Oh my god. I relate, RPO077. I just got destroyed. Thought I'd share. People who don't carry umbrellas in rainy weather. Why not? Do you like getting wet? I like to experience how I make girls feel. Cold and irritated? Oh, Donald Trump tweet. Get ready, boomers. The wall is being rapidly built. The economy is great. Our country is respected again. The wall has yet to start construction. The national debt is at 22 trillion, and our country is a laughingstock of the world right now. Yeah, but what if also the other one too? What if you guys just both believed both things? Y'all find this attractive? LMAO. They're the best gymnasts in the world. I promise you, they didn't get those abs to impress your dusty self. Oh, sorry, angry hippie. I just looked at his username, at @YouWantMyD_annual. Nice. If you have this decal on your car and I see you, don't be surprised when you get a nice throat punch. Vaccinate your crotch goblins. It's tough talk from someone whose entire family can be taken out by a rusty nail. I'm sorry that I laugh like an old man who's never heard a joke before, but that's funny. Oh, hey, look, it's B.O.B. The cities in the background are approximately 16 miles apart. Where's the curve? Please, explain this. Oh, hey, Mr. Murderedbywords comes in. With the circumference of 24,901 miles, you're looking at a curvature of around 0.2 degrees, or a little more than 10 feet at 16 miles away. May I say, that curvature is still significantly higher than your IQ. Damn, I guess B.O.B. could really use a wish right now. I may just be very privileged. However, I have enough scholarships that I'm going to a very good university for free. My friend who comes from a poor family and is Hispanic also has enough scholarships to cover the costs and is an RA, meaning he's getting paid to go to college. There are so many opportunities out there to get money for college that there's no point to be swimming in debt unless you went to law, grad, or med school. Good luck in college! Suggestion: take some classes like logic and rhetorical analysis, and of course some statistics while you're there. Then perhaps you'll finally know the difference between data and anecdote. Balloon Fest, Chernobyl, Challenger. 1986 was a hell of a year. I was born in 86. Is that bad? I'll add it to the list of that year's disasters. Another one on the board. Lol, you have never screwed a pretty girl, ever. Could be said about any dude who ever screwed you, LOL. Thanks, literally Hotler. Amazon should replace local libraries to save taxpayers money via forms. Fun fact about getting books from Amazon. You had to pay money for them. Anyway, I'm off to pick up my library holds. But you don't have to pay taxes. Cost to individually buy the 6 books I want to have on hold this week, $70. Amount the Altadena Library special parcel tax cost me this week, 75 cents. Someone help me budget this. I'm not the chair of an economics department. Side note, how the hell do you say this guy's name? Time to butcher a name, everybody. So strap in, I can't read things. Panos Mordukotus. I don't know. How do I turn my cat vegan? I don't want her to eat meat because it's not right. If you honestly want to do this, follow these simple steps. 1. Give your cat away to someone who will actually take care of its needs and feed it what it needs to eat. 2. Never own another cat again. Unless you actually want to kill your cat by having it die due to your crusade. Funny. I thought vegans were against cruelty to animals. Okay, we'll give that a half point. We'll give that a half burn. Fatal explosions in Sri Lanka at Catholic churches, reportedly 20 plus dead, 50 plus taken to hospital. Who effing cares? Just a friendly reminder. Strangers cared about your cousin's medical issues when you posted a thread asking for help with his medical condition. Don't bite the hand that feeds, which is Reddit for you, my friend. Churches calls out Marshmallow for working with Chris Brown and Tyga. Chris and Tyga respond. Oh, here's the church's post. We are really upset upset, confused, and disappointed by Marshmallow's choice to work with Tyga and Chris Brown. We like and respect Mello as a person, but working with people who are predators and abusers enables, excuses, and ultimately tactically endorses that behavior. That is not something we can or will stand behind. Then Tyga, we're all God's children. Everyone makes mistakes, no one's perfect. Let's keep the energy positive. Chris Brown, bunch of losers. These are the type of people I wish walked in front of a speeding bus full of mental patients. Keep groveling over your own insecurities and hatreds. I'm black and proud, and I know it hurts that you guys are struggling with life of peace, so you are forced to see my success. You aren't even number 2. Remember, second place only means you lost first. Ta-ta. Good day, peasants. Hundreds of anti-vax families pile into California Capitol to protest draconian immunization bill. Kidding me? Hey, I know we're all not vaccinated. Let's just pile into one big building and cough real loud. This is like smoking while pumping gas. It really is, though. Dad forced to choose which child to save in Sri Lanka attacks, but both die. That's awful. I'm sorry. Holy hell. This is an awful, awful headline. A, when you read the story, he absolutely didn't choose which child to save. And B, how could you do this to a man whose children have just been killed? Don't you think he's suffering enough? You frickin' ghouls. God, I agree. Man, that's rough. After all the aftermath and destruction of the Notre Dame fire, the altar and cross remain untouched. Please explain to me how you don't believe in God after seeing this. Because the melting point of gold is 1064 degrees Celsius and a wood fire burns at around 600 degrees Celsius. Damn, using facts and logic. Ben Shapiro style. If you use facial recognition for anything, the government has your face. Lol. Wait until you find out about driver's licenses. If America is such a horrible country, why are thousands of Hondurans trekking across the continent to try and get in? Because in 2009, the US government supported and legitimized a military coup in Honduras that led to extreme poverty, violence, and repression. Charlie Kirk, 11. From Jimmy Rad. Hey guys, this is the government office where you can apply for your free college. They'll even give you on-the-job training, work clothes, a free place to live, and 3 hot meals a day. All with the additional potential of international travel to Iraq and or Afghanistan. Oh, you don't like free stuff anymore? I'm sorry, but the whole join the military if you want free education thing is BS. You shouldn't have to go through severe physical and psychological reconditioning, risk your life, or sign up for a war that you are morally opposed to in order to get an affordable education. Honestly, most people fighting for free education aren't even asking for free education. They're asking for affordable education. You know, like the generation before ours had, before the politicians they voted into office screwed that up for us. Free education isn't free. Let's say Bernie gets you a free education. You get a nice job with your oology degree, making $30K a year, but golly gee willikers, the government party wants 65% of your paycheck to help other kids get PE and ology degrees. It's never free. Boom, roasted. Like I said, I don't want a free education. I understand how socialism works. I want an affordable higher education, like the one your generation and the one before it had, before they screwed it up for my generation. Let me break this down for you. Annual tuition for Yale, 1970, $2,500. Annual tuition for Yale, 2014, $45,800. Minimum wage in 1970, $1.45. Minimum wage in 2014, $7.25. Assuming you work every single day for the 4 years of your undergrad, 1,460 days, and every single penny you make goes to tuitions and tax deductions aren't factored in, daily hours at a minimum wage needed to pay for tuition in 2014, 17.31. Annual tuition for Yale 1970 adjusted for inflation in 2014, $15,253.61. Minimum wage 1970 adjusted for inflation in 2014, $8.85. This is what we're given to work with, and we're called lazy and entitled when we call foul. Know why this is what we have to work with? Because your generation and the generation before it decided they wanted to go to school for free, or rather on the government's dime, until they graduated and got a job to pay them back with reasonable interest rates. Great plan, right? Wrong. Because that gave schools the free reign to jack their tuition rates up every year. Because now the government was guaranteeing them that money. Same with textbook companies, who can now charge $200 for a spiral-bound, 150-page book that gets slightly reworded and reorganized every year and branded with blank edition, that your school requires you purchase in order to get an online code to access your assignments for that course. Can't buy an old edition. That code has been used before. By the way, you'll use that textbook exactly 4 times all semester. Want to sell it back at the end of the semester? You'll get $25 to $30 in bookstore credit. credit for it. They can do this because the government subsidizes it. Who decided to let them do that? Wasn't my generation, and since then, the government has raised interest rates on those loans exponentially, because before, where a few people needed loans to attend college, now it's nearly impossible to pay out of pocket for your average 4-year university. Certainly not for the middle class, and even more so for the lower class that the right-wing conservatives love to blame for being lazy and not going to school and getting education to improve their circumstances. Meanwhile, the average college senior is graduating with over $35,000 in student loan debt, with interest rates starting at 4% and climbing steadily from there, into an economy where the unemployment rate for young graduates is at 7% and the underemployment rate is at 15%. It'll take the average student close to 20 years to pay off that debt, due in part to the interest rates, but also due to the low starting salaries, abysmal employment rates, the rise in the cost of living, the housing market crash caused by the exact same stupid government subsidy plan, and the recession that not my generation but the ones before it hurled us into. So no, I'm not asking for free anything. I'm aware that such things don't exist. I'm simply asking that we be given the same opportunities as the generations before us without being called the entitled, selfish, lazy generation. We are adapting as best we can to the mess that was handed to us by a generation far more entitled than our own. Took the batteries out of the carbon monoxide alarm because the loud beeper was giving me a headache and making me feel sick and dizzy. That's it. That's what anti-vaxxers sound like. I taught my son that the world is flat, and now school is telling him that it is round, and he is questioning which is real now. How should I encourage him to not believe everything he hears? The problem is that your son now faces the issue of realizing at least one of his parents is a moron. He has to realize that, though he loves you, he can't trust you to be correct about any questions he asks. That's hard for him. The more you push your idiocy on him, the angrier and more frustrated he will get. My girlfriend's a meat expert. Impressive, considering how little she has to work with. Men are frickin' dogs. You can say that again. They can be. And women ain't any frickin' better. A few years ago, I met a guy. Really nice guy. Probably one of the nicest guys you could ever know. We became good friends and chatted often. Occasionally, he would call me just to ask how I was. You know, the kind of thing a friend would do. Anyway, one day he asks me to come to his house and look at his computer. Says it's been slow and maybe ate some viruses or whatever, so I'm like, yeah, no sweat. And we go to his house where he introduces his wife, a girl I went to school with. She tries to seduce me and get me to sleep with her. I feel disgusted and refuse. Some time goes by and this girl messages me one day to tell me her husband left her. When I ask why, she tells me because she cheated on him and he found out. And now she posts this status message on Facebook. Man, are freaking dogs. I could do nothing but laugh my freaking butt off. Thank you for making my day. Alright, get out of here, cock. Shoo. Come on, shoo. I'm allergic to you. A teacher ran out of sick days to stay with his cancer-stricken daughter, so fellow educators chipped in with their sick days, adding up to 100 days. That's cute. Tales from the working class dystopia repackaged as feel-good stories are getting old. And just let us, we don't have a lot of good news. Can we just let us have this one semi-good thing? Alyssa Carson, 18, NASA's youngest astronaut in training. She'll be one of the first people to land on the surface of Mars. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, never mind, it's not awesome. NASA doesn't select astronauts that early. The minimum requirements are to have a degree and 3 years of work in a related field, i.e. geology graduate working as a geologist, but can be substituted with 1,000 hours of piloting a jet aircraft. They get 18,000 applications each year and get to choose about 25. Even being a NASA engineer doesn't guarantee you a spot. NASA makes no exceptions. She's smart, she's determined, and she went to a lot of space camps, but she's not yet in the astronaut corps training program. I don't want to sound like I'm diminishing her, but saying she's done NASA astronaut training is like saying you went to Stanford when in fact you only did their month-long summer program.
A while back I heard my friend, male, insult another dude by saying, "You look like a kind of guy who wouldn't go to Walmart to buy his girl a box of tampons." And I still think about that crowning insult sometimes. My dad once called another guy someone who thinks loading the dishwasher once in a while makes him less of a man. I like your dad already. One time my dad's boss was giving him crap for always leaving work early so he could get home and help my mom with me when I was a newborn. And his boss said, "I'd never changed a diaper in my life," really proudly. And my dad responded, "I'd be ashamed to ever admit I was that worthless of a husband."
All men are pigs.
Women are equal to men.
I asked my 4-year-old daughter this morning whether she thought it would be more fun to have a job or be a mommy. She said, "To be a mommy so I can cuddle my babies." Clearly, she's already been victimized by the patriarchy.
I asked my 6-month-old the same question and she said, "The false dichotomy in the premise of this question proves the ongoing need for feminism. You would never ask a boy to choose between procreation and professional fulfillment." Yes, neurotoxic vaccine given then baby dies from ischemia hypoxia. I know I said that wrong. Caused by aluminum thickening the blood, which is not allowed to flow through the brain. Baby dies from lack of oxygen. Oh hi! Researcher whose thesis topic was neonatal hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy. I gotta figure out how to say this word real quick because it's gonna drive me crazy.
Encephalopathy here. Encephalopathy. Encephalopathy here. Thickened blood from vaccines is not a thing. In fact, birth is the leading cause of neonatal hypoxia, ischemia-related encephalopathy. Why would you... I hate these words! In fact, birth is the leading cause of neonatal hypoxia ischemia-related encephalopathy, which is typically prior to vaccination. A significant portion of the birth risk can be avoided with fetal monitoring in labor, well-trained birth attendants, and intrauterine resuscitation. But no, it's not vaccines. Really, ever. But honestly, if Iran disappeared tomorrow, what exactly does mankind lose? Literally nothing. Well, considering Iran is actually part of mankind, that statement made no sense. But since I'm entertaining your comment, I'll teach you something. You can blow up Iran today, but they will always be known for inventing the first water irrigation system in the world and also the first post office in the world. The inventor of algebra is from Iran, an Iranian scholar discovered sulfuric acid, chess was originated in Iran, maybe you've never heard of the Cyrus cylinder, look that crap up. Not to mention, all the contributions Iranian scientists have made to modern science. If you only read headlines on Facebook, you would think Iran is some backwoods desert that should be blown into an empty parking lot. But people who have visited know it's like Colorado. Beautiful mountains and full of college-educated and cultured people. Their government, much like ours, doesn't represent the people. I believe Anthony Bourdain once said that of all places he's ever visited, the streets of Iran were the most friendly and compassionate, unlike that last comment. At this point, there's no excuse for baby boomers still in the workforce to be technologically inept anymore. It's just willful ignorance. This crap is not frickin' hard. Why is it asking for a password? Because you're logging into something, Martha. That's how it's been for the last 20 frickin' years. How do I do this? Can you show me? No, Jeb. You can Google it like the rest of us. You've been an engineer and working with computers for 35 years. Why would I waste time when some 12-year-old Indian kid on YouTube can walk you through it far more clearly? It requires one exposure to the concept of Googling to understand how it works. Your generation was smart enough to create a giant hole in the ozone, but not smart enough to realize you have the near entirety of human knowledge at your disposal just by typing a few words in? Give me a break. I'm not tech savvy. No, you just refuse to learn despite most modern software being idiot-proof. Stuck in your ways out of entitlement. The worst part is after you help an old thought, 9 times out of 10 they'll give you some kind of BS passive-aggressive thank you along the lines of, oh, I guess you young people have to know something about those phones you're always on, huh? Give me a frickin' break, Greg. Maybe we're staring at them because it's less depressing to be distracted instead of coming to terms with the fact the planet is literally dying. It's not my fault your wife hasn't had sex with you since 2006. Go away. And another thing that just gets my blood boiling is the ability to get into the settings, completely screw things up, and then manage to develop total amnesia about how it happened. What do you mean you set your phone to Japanese on accident, Deborah? There's like 15 separate menus you have to navigate through to get there. I think it's because I got a virus. No, Arthur. It's not a virus. The only viruses here are your rampant stupidity and the deadly pathogens carried by your unvaccinated and probably ugly grandchildren. I just absolutely loathe that the people who decide if women should be executed for having abortions or not are the same people who can't figure out how to work a Blu-ray player with the instructions right in front of them. Rant off. At its peak, the Soviet Union was an industrial powerhouse that was capable of rivaling the US economy. All this despite the fact that unlike the United States, the USSR did not build its economy up through indigenous genocide, stolen lands, and extensive use of slave labor. Hi blank, here's my article from 2 weeks ago. On the 75th anniversary of Stalin deporting 500,000 indigenous people from their land for the survivors to be forcibly employed in collective farms. I think that covers all 3 of your categories. Love the new Pokemon, Wooloo. They have a special message for all the future trainers. I'm not your Wooloo sweater. Sharing is good for us, you dumb frickin' C's. Peter would rather kill me than let me live comfortably and happy on a farm. Please share me. It's good for my health. Screenshots of Wooloo's entry, it seems. The white fur that covers their bodies grow throughout their lives, and it will fully grow back in 3 months even if the Wooloo has been completely shorn. The fur is used for clothing and carpets and the like, and it is very popular as a specialty product of the Gala region. Help me, I'm being held hostage! No president has ever worked harder than me, cleaning up the mess I inherited. Franklin Delano Roosevelt fought the Great Depression and led us through World War II. Lincoln saved the Union. You have golfed 156 times, visited Mar-a-Lago 27 times, and spend 6 hours a day on executive time tweeting and watching cable news. You may be the laziest president who ever lived. A reminder that Catholics should not support or attend LGBTQ Pride Month events held in June. They promote a culture and encourage activities that are contrary to Catholic faith and morals. They are especially harmful for children. I'm a straight man raised a Catholic, and your tweet has annoyed me so much I'm gonna give some lad a hand shandy in your honor. Thanks, PJ. Oh, look at that ratio on Bishop Thomas's. Oh my god. Let me get this straight. You're asking me what has gotten better with the current generation? The generation that snorts condoms and eats Tide Pods? As opposed to the generations that made black people use separate water fountains and fired folks for being gay? I'll take the condom trick any day. Hey, remember when the Panama Papers came out and revealed that all the rich people in the world are part of an enormous criminal conspiracy to dodge taxes and hoard stolen wealth in offshore accounts and literally nothing happened? That's not quite true. The reporter behind the story, Daphne, did I say Daphne? God, I need to take a
Jesus. That's not quite true. The reporter behind the story, Daphne Caruana Galizia, I don't know. That's not quite true. The reporter behind the story, Daphne Caruana Galizia, that's how I'm gonna say it, was murdered. Literal murdered by words, murdered because of words. Ooh. Representative Justin Amash, Mitch, crosses party lines to vote in favor of authorizing subpoena for Kellyanne Conway. I'd replace crossing party lines with follows Constitution.
I've done my research on vaccines. What do you think about PCV2 specific lymphocytes that raise the number of THTC and CD3 plus positive T cells in the blood of DNA vaccine immune groups?
I don't know if that's Alex Jones, but I like thinking that's Alex Jones. The back of his head looks like Jones, and so god damn it, he's Jones to me. Also, education isn't a human right, it's a service, and we do not have a right to the service of others. If the state wouldn't back these student loans, there would be less demand for the universities, which means the prices would have to drop. It's basic economics. The right to education, including equal access to college, is stated in Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights drafted in 1948 and reaffirmed in 1960, according to the UN. Education is a human right. You are incorrect. Roy Moore at his Senate campaign launch. Why does the mere mention of my name cause people to get up in arms in Washington, D.C.? Is it because I'm a staunch conservative? Is it because I believe in God and marriage and morality in our country? It's because you're telling children, real Judge Moore. Don't overthink it. Disgusting lack of diversity. Run faster. I like that one. That's good. Run faster, stupid. Oh god, one of these. Dude, there's so many long, like, why is Murdered by Words such a long, just political subreddit? I hate it so much. This subreddit is like disgustingly political. How has serving impacted you? Dad served in Vietnam as Navy artillery mechanic. Spent most of his time in combat. Watched all his friends die when his PBR was blown up in the middle of the night. Hospital pulled out some shrapnel, badly stitched him up, and sent him right back to work on the next boat, same day. Dad spent the next several decades drinking because that was what would pass for mental health treatment at local VA office. He had horrific nightmares for a long time and would wake us up with his screaming. He doesn't scream as much anymore, but still won't talk about his experience. On Veterans Day, while the military Twitter account is tweeting platitudes, my dad gets the most expensive hard liquor he can afford, toasts to the lives of his friends never had a chance to live, and ends the day drunk and sobbing. He made us swear to never join the military. That's not even murdered by words. That's just sad. How is that a murdered by words, dude? Jeez. Oh, I feel so bad for that guy. Imagine knowing a guy that can solve all your financial problems without asking for S. His name is employment. See, that's murdered by words. That's good. That's a funny one. Trump is the first leader in the history of the world to be attacked for improving the lives of the citizens that voted for him. Lincoln was literally shot in the head for ending slavery. Please stop calling me O.Gay Simpson. What are you gonna do? Kill my wife? Honey, I'm glad when I used to skate as a kid, my parents didn't make me look like a dork by wearing some pointless helmet. Generation Snowflake strikes again. Imagine how nice you would have been without all the head injuries. I asked my husband if I'm the only one he's been with. He said yes. The others were all 9 and 10s. Send bail money. I get it. Watching soccer is a lot like going to a crappy bar. I'm watching Europeans try to score and failing. Football is a lot like education. The American version requires you wear your body weight in armor, and there's still no guarantee you won't get maimed. A Trump official tried to argue that detained children don't need soap, toothbrushes, or beds to be safe and sanitary while in Border Patrol custody. Somali pirates gave me toothpaste and soap. Every time I use they to refer to a single gender unknown person on Tumblr, another piece of my grammar-filled heart shatters, and the pieces scatter at the bottom of hell. They has been a singular pronoun for hundreds of years, you melodramatic dipstick. Well, actually, no. They is plural. People use they when they should use he, she, or it. Dense mother effer. The pronoun they is an English equivalent for the third person indefinite singular and has been for literally centuries. It remains morphologically and syntactically plural, therefore you don't need to crap your little pantaloons and compromising your surely rock-solid grammar rules. I guarantee every frickin' time you've ever had to refer to a person of an unknown gender, you've used they subconsciously. I guarantee every frickin' time you've ever had to refer to a person of an unknown gender, you've used they subconsciously. The post clerk gave me a message for you. Oh, what did he say? But you only have a problem with it when people specify it as a pronoun for themselves because you're a crap lord, I frickin' guess. Grammarized straight into hell. Cackles linguistically.
Ready for a world in which $50 DNA tests can predict your odds of earning a PhD or forecast which toddler gets into a selective preschool? You can already do this with a zip code. Today at Walmart, this girl ahead of me in line's card kept declining, so the cashier offered to pay for it. She told him, "I have a boyfriend," and the cashier legit told her, "Yeah, I'm trying to hurry home and watch some basketball right now, not date your broke booty. Who the frick left this in my car and in lot 30? I just want to talk." Many 3-year-olds have trouble staying within the lines. Maybe if you practice coloring this turtle, it will help with your parking. I found out that my son is going to try and get himself vaccinated when he turns 18 in a month. How can I stop him? Except that you have raised a son who is more intelligent than you. How do you sleep at night knowing that there are some people in the world who don't like you? With no underwear, in case they want to kiss my white couples that adopt non-white kids. Ugh. If you're getting mad at someone for adopting a parentless child and bringing that child into a loving home because their skin color doesn't match, then you need to take a good, hard look at your priorities, evaluate your life, and ask yourself how you sunk this freaking low. Hey guys, my parents are out of town. Party at my house this weekend. At LSPDB, what? The police can't come though, I guess. We are actually pretty cool people to hang out with, but we get it. If nothing illegal is going on and no one calls us, we won't come. But based off the number of likes and comments too far, it doesn't look like anyone else is going either. Gee, Jesus Christ, calm down. 1882. I'm financially not the same as my boyfriend, and it's beginning to bother me. My family makes triple his family. My mum is a position 6 ranks higher at the same company as his dad. I'm coming here to Cal on OOS tuition. He's at the state school getting financial aid. We own 7 properties, his family has 2. Only 2 properties? Peasant. And that's just our families. I work and make quite a bit of money, so I've been able to buy him upscale gifts. And he only brought me a $30 present on Valentine's Day, and I'm still upset about it. And not even on time, because he had to wait for it to go on sale. I have an internship this summer that's prorated at his dad's yearly salary. He has no internship. He's a good guy, he's of the right caste, he's in an okay major, CS, but I resent him for not being able to spoil me. I want to have something to show off. I don't want to be disappointed with a Zales ring down the road. Oh yeah, you should definitely break up with him, so that he can find someone much, much better than you. What's the cruelest thing that's ever been said to you? My mother told me I should carry a plant around to replace the oxygen I waste. Vaccines literally injects you with a disease/illness you could possibly have no association with just to fight it off. My kids will pass. Oh, they'll pass alright. I'm unvaccinated. My superpowers include spreading diseases I don't have. Do they make these in adult sizes? Oh wait, there's no need. A new study shows a rise in depression and stress among young people parallels the growth in smartphone and social media use. Opioid crisis, perpetual war, mass shootings, political paralysis, economic collapse, climate catastrophe, soaring university costs, structural racial injustice, nah, all of them are fine, okay? iPhones, however. You want socialized medicine? Tell me again how good Canadian healthcare is. Tell me about the wait times for serious medical procedures. Did you guys learn anything from the complete failure of Obamacare? My husband needed brain surgery. World-class neurosurgeons removed a wedge of his skull, used lasers to remove the scar tissue on his temporal lobe, and then put his skull back together. My biggest expenses were parking and snacks for stress eating. Cheat mode! Close your eyes and you can play any game in your mind, even Paper Mario. Paper Mario is trash. Close your eyes and imagine yourself being a more likable person, and then open them and weep. My sister and I are having a mac and cheese battle to see who gets to cook it for Thanksgiving. Mine is on the left, hers is on the right. You're with. Both of you need to be in prison. Pedophiles believe they should be a part of the LGBT community. I thought the Catholic Church opposed the LGBT community. OP is a janitor. A Redditor had his back covered. So do you find people treat you differently when they learn of your profession? Yes, I've had Tinder dates up and leave after finding out what I do for a living. So in that instance, the trash took itself out. A new book saying Trump wanted to fire Ivanka from her White House job leaves out some important details, like, what is Ivanka's White House job? I think of my paycheck like mana in a video game. Once you run out, you gotta chill for a bit and give it time to recharge. Paycheck? Oh, sorry, I live in Canada where we spell things correctly. I understand the confusion though. What a polite way to say frick you. To the people that say women get roped due to the way they are dressed, this is my dog. His favourite food is steak. He is eye level with the plate. He won't get any closer because I told him no. If a dog is better behaved than you are, you need to reevaluate your life. Feel free to share. My dog is adorable. Comment or DM me if you're a spoiled millennial who thinks you're owed anything. You owe me 2 contractions. I don't know what the fuck? I cheated on my husband and now I'm pregnant. My husband doesn't know. Should I keep the secret? Okay, yeah, keep the secret. Wait till the kid's 3 and looks nothing like you or him, then divorce him and seek child support for a kid that isn't his. It's your golden ticket to a financially secure life, which, let's face it, is probably the only reason you got married in the first place. Take the man's home and half his crap. Haven't you crapped on him enough by cheating on him and getting pregnant? You obviously don't love him. No matter what you may be telling yourself, he will be devastated, but he will heal and move on, much more easily than he would if he were forced to raise a kid that isn't his and is a product of his wife's affair. I had a friend this happened to. His wife got pregnant with his best friend's child. As the baby grew into a toddler, it was heartbreakingly obvious that the kid was not his, as it looked just like his best friend. The fact that you were even thinking about not telling him is sad and selfish. He deserves to know, and you don't deserve him to stick around and help you fix your mistake. France's EU minister named her cat Brexit because he meows loudly to be let out but just stands there when I open the door. This New York student won a $250 grand prize for his research on the devastating microorganism which caused the Irish potato famine. Calling the Brits a devastating microorganism is a little weird, but I'll take it. Need books? No worries. Donate plasma. Pay for your education with blood. No, really. I wish America would build a Thunderdome so impoverished students could fight to the death over free tuitions. They already have Iraq for that. Happy anniversary, Tim. Is the sex change done yet? Oh, you're confused. They're not taking the whole thing. I'm an organ donor, and they're going to take several inches off this huge thing to donate to the less fortunate. Aren't you on a waiting list? Autistic people, how do you feel about those anti-vaxxers using your illness/genetic disorder to promote their agenda? Serious. Person with Asperger's here. There are a few things that anti-vaxxers don't realize. People with autism aren't stupid. We may be a little different/see the world differently, but we aren't stupid. 2. Vaccines don't cause autism. 3. Your child isn't an idiot because vaccines gave him autism. Your child is a stupid little frick because he shares DNA with you, Karen. Steve Irwin wouldn't want us to attack Peter. We're meant to be kind to animals. I use this to help with my homework. 4th grade is a toughie, man. 4th grade is tough? Ha! I needed this laugh. Just you wait until you get to your junior year of college, kiddo. Imagine being an adult trying to one-up a 9-year-old. Horrible. Doesn't say if there's fluoride in the water. Thanks for your feedback, Taquan. The app also doesn't forecast the weather or report on sporting events. It's an app for choosing healthy food and losing weight. A Florida abortion bill would require a judge to rule if a teen's mature enough to terminate pregnancy. That woman is immature. Let's give her a kid. Florida. Millennials are treating pets like their firstborn child, and it's reportedly causing problems for some of the best known pet food brands. Younger people are treating their pets like living, breathing, freaking animals, and it's reportedly causing problems for some of the best known pet food brands that have been selling garbage fillers that barely qualify as nutrition. There, fix your crappy headline. But, bro, you're literally a package delivery guy, as if that's something to be proud of. Lamau. It actually is. Don't be a dickhead. You should be absolutely ashamed of yourself for trying to put down someone's profession, especially if the position is unionized and gets great pay and benefits, UPS, or tenured government jobs with amazing benefits and pay, USPS. A mail carrier is an amazing career to have if you can work your way up. Any job is better than no job, and you trashing someone for working says a lot about yourself. Be it an office job or mopping McDonald's, every job where someone is trying to make money honestly deserves respect. You look like an idiot, delete your comment. Right, so I got into a fight with my auntie and she said, at least I don't have to worry about my kid being a faggot like your mum does. And then we have the aunt saying, I hope I didn't upset you earlier, that was not my intention. You need to stop being so sensitive. I did not mean in a bad way, I just mean you gay people have a lot of drama. I tried to understand this bi crap you claim to be, but you teenagers make stuff up all the time. You're young, you'll find a man. You can change. You used to be so clever. If you think you can't accept my help, don't come to Indy's birthday. I do not want you ruining the day. Hi Aunt Marie, don't worry about it. I know what you're like after a few bottles of wine. I can't make Indy's birthday, I'm afraid. I have a huge lesbian orgy that me and the other have been planning it for months. By the way, how's your divorce going? I saw Uncle Lee with his new girlfriend. She's 20 years younger than you, right? Speak soon. And then we've got Mum saying, Charlotte Louise, what the frick have you done now? And we've got Dad saying, why do I have 3 missed calls from your mum? And then we've got Holly saying, seriously, what the frick is wrong with you? How dare you speak to my mum like that? I'm late to the NYPD press conference because I couldn't find a non-Muslim cab or Uber and Lyft driver for over 30 minutes. This is insanity. Imagine telling your boss, sorry, I'm 30 minutes late for work because of how racist I am. Disabled parking should only be valid during business hours, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I cannot see any reason why people with genuine disabilities would be out beyond these times. We're disabled, Daniel. We're not werewolves. Millennials are so helpless, they're taking adulting classes to learn how to do things like sew a button. We figured taking a class was more polite than bombarding our kids and grandkids with mundane questions like, how do I delete my emails? My computer is so slow. Or, what's a GIF? Yeah, these millennials are so freaking stupid that they take classes to learn things that they don't know. Whoa, what idiots. People run from rain but sit in bathtubs full of water. Charles Bukowski. Wow, Bukowski is so profound. Do you also bathe fully clothed, you dinkhead? Ooh, isn't it funny that a person will eat when they're hungry but will duck if you throw an apple at their face? You're a nice kid and all. I enjoy your videos and I like your sense of humor. Also, at the risk of sounding gay, you're a fairly good looking guy, so no need to be self-conscious and take this personally. However, that moustache, if it can so be called, makes my heart hurt. You look like you're being haunted by the ghost of a moustache. You look like you're heavily in moustache dead. That moustache defies the properties of physics because it has the force to make me cry, but has no mass. No, I don't agree. I think it suits him. I think it looks fairly, fairly awesome. Also, who's that guy? He looks epic.
I hate when straight men ask openly gay women, how you know you don't like wiener if you ain't ever try it? Bro, how you know you ain't like wiener if you ain't ever try it? See how stupid that stuff sounds? Man, come here. Let me put this strap in your booty. We finna answer that right now. At Play Overwatch. Hi team, my daughter created a new character. Her name is Burst. She'd love to know your thoughts. Our artists were so inspired by this that they created their own fan art. Hope your daughter loves it. The Overwatch crew just made something adorable. Like, I'm an actual freaking artist, and so are a million goddamn other people on the planet, and the person being recognized for their art by a game company is a freaking child? Nah, so much F that. Well, if the criteria for recognition is being an effing child, I'd say you still have a chance. Hashtag surviving Cardi B spreads online after rapper claims she used to drug and rob men. People have been paying her for her... People have been paying for her music for the last 2 to 3 years, and all of a sudden her robbing people is news? At this point, there's no excuse for a baby boomer to be technologically incompetent anymore. It's just willful ignorance. This stuff is not effing hard. Why is it asking for a password? Because you're logging into something, Martha. That's how it's been for the last 20 frickin' years. How do I do X? Can you show me? No, Dale. You can Google it, like the rest of us. It requires one exposure to the concept of Googling to understand how it works. Your generation was smart enough to cause a total economic collapse out of malice, but not smart enough to type in a few words, I guess. I'm just not tech savvy. No, you just refuse to learn because, like in most things, you are stuck in your ways. The worst part is after you help an old F with some sort of tech BS, 9 times out of 10 they'll give you some kind of BS passive-aggressive thank you. Like, oh, I guess you young people have to know something about those phones you're always on, huh? Give me an effing break, Gretchen. I have depression from living in the economy you created, and my phone is more of a reprieve than dealing with your stubborn, inconsiderate A. And another thing that just gets my blood boiling is their ability to get into their settings, completely F things up, and then manage to develop total amnesia about how it happened. What do you mean you set your phone to Japanese on accident, Phil? There's like 15 separate menus you have to navigate through to get there. I think it's because I got a virus. No, Greg, it's not a virus. The only viruses here are your rampant stupidity and the deadly pathogens carried by your unvaccinated grandchildren. I just absolutely loathe that the people who decide if women should be executed for having abortions or not are the same people who can't figure out how to work a Blu-ray player with the instructions in front of them. President Trump. I will close the border if Mexico doesn't go with it, if Mexico doesn't stop. If that's easy to close the border with Mexico, why do we need a $50 billion wall? Plus, people could still just enter from the other 2 Mexicos. Boyfriend took me to get undies and he wanted to embarrass me, so he said real loud, I can't wait to rip these off with my teeth. And I replied with, seriously, you need to stop, you're my brother. I won. President Trump was remarkably strong in his joint press event with Senator McConnell. His grasp of the issues is very deep and growing. I assume your spell check is in the hospital battling cancer, so you abandoned it. It's always the guys with big trucks, guns, and small penises who are convinced everyone else is beta. I drive a car. Love how that is the one thing you corrected. Man drugged and robbed by Cardi B says it was still better than listening to her music. That's 2 for 2 for Cardi B. 2 for 2. God meant for women to be more chastity. If not, he would have created a means for checking men's virginity. Luckily, we developed Twitter, so we can just read tweets like these to tell when you're a virgin. Croissants at LaGuardia are going for $7 a piece? Yet some people think getting a whole hour of personal dedicated human labor for $15 is too expensive. Oh, the humanity. Here's the answer. Government mandated free croissants for all. And we'll just force the bakers to give all their time for free. Hashtag socialist logic. Hashtag April Fools. GOP taking every tweet so earnestly, making my point for me. It's not an argument against the price of the croissant. It's about the value of human worth. But I guess the idea is foreign to them since their politics treat people as disposable anyway. Dear kids, I'm a baby boomer. We are getting old. But at least we had sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Seems like millennials have moral panics, workshops, and grievance circles. Time to rebel. XX Mom. Didn't your generation slap warning stickers on albums for saying bad words and have meltdowns about satanic cults being in nursery schools?
There's nothing we can ever give to the Democrats that will make them happy. This is the highest level of presidential harassment in the history of our country.
You could have some dumb a-hole constantly asking to see your birth certificate because he doesn't believe you were born in the US. My favorite thing I learned in college is that way back in ancient China, there was this poet/philosopher guy who wrote this whole pretentious poem about how enlightened he was, and that was like, the 8 winds cannot move me, blah, blah, blah. And he was really proud of it, so he sent it to his friend who lived across the lake, and then his friend sends it back and just writes, fart, or the ancient Chinese equivalent on it. And he was so mad, he travels across the lake to chew his friend out. When he gets there, his friend says, wow, the 8 winds cannot move you, but one fart sends you across the lake. There should be a zoo of drunk white people doing stupid stuff. It's called Florida. As a Florida resident, I cannot confirm nor deny this, but I will say we do charge when people enter. When I went to school, we had dress code of skirts and dresses. Nothing above the knee, only the middle of the knee. Any shorter, you were sent home to change and get back to class. And make up the time after school. I'm proud to say that in high school, no one got pregnant. Back in your day, soda had cocaine in it and black people had no... Oh, yeesh. Black people had no rights. The good old days weren't that good, lady. Let society progress. I think I'll trade teenage pregnancy for black people having rights. I think that's a good deal. Let them have rights and, yeah, I think that's fair. Hashtag teens. What do you think hashtag Jesus' favorite hashtag gun would be? Emoji with a halo holding a revolver. At GOP teens. A nail gun. From at literal edgelord. Not hashtag funny. Consider yourself hashtag blocked. Hashtag got him. See this here? He's turning right on a red light. That is America's only contribution to Western civilization. Introducing the thing you never asked for but definitely always wanted, Tinder height verification. Coming soon. Read more about it here. Cool with this? Just add a weight verification as well for the ladies who love to show those old pics.
Puerto Rico got $91 billion for the hurricane. More money than has ever been gotten for a hurricane before. And all their local politicians do is complain and ask for more money. The polls are grossly incompetent, spend the money foolishly and corruptly, and only take from the USA.
Puerto Rico is the USA, you racist lout. It makes my heart smile when two ugly people find each other and fall in love. So who's the lucky guy? Laura Ingraham guest says trans people will, quote, destroy gender norms to create, quote, new species, human and part machine. Part machine? They're trans, not transformers, you idiot. Got your hands on the Galaxy S8? Show us the first photo you took. It was a dick pic. That's murdered by emojis, my man. Forget murdered by words, my man was murdered by emoji. Happy Mother's Day to all of the single fathers out there who have had to raise their kids without a mother. Today's about mothers. Why do men always have to try and take everything away that's just for women? You're one to talk. Blank's raised 2 great children all by himself. He does school bake sales, cooks dinner, cleans and does his daughter's hair before school. Your 4 kids all live with your parents because you can't stay out of jail for more than 6 months. He's more of a mother than you'll ever be. Dear guy who just made my burrito. Have you ever been to Earth? On Earth, we use the word burrito to describe a tortilla filled with things you eat. Pretty simple stuff, and I'm surprised you at least got that part right. My burrito was, in fact, filled with food. In this, you and I agree, and are friends. But this is also where my lifelong hatred begins for you and anyone else whose brain has been repeatedly scrubbed with the same mixture of bleach and pop rocks as yours has. Because that should have killed you, but left you around long enough to do what you did to me today. Let me explain. You're an idiot. Let me explain further.
Burritos are eaten from one end to the other. So that means when you assemble a burrito with mother effing zones of ingredients going that direction, you create a disgusting experience for the burrito's end user. When you make a burrito, you should put the ingredients in layers lengthwise. That way, every bite has at least an effing chance of getting at least 2 types of ingredients. And there is little chance of becoming almost hopelessly trapped in a goddamned cilantro cavern. Have you ever eaten one of the things you make all effing day? You should try one. They are pretty good when you are not willing yourself through the effing empire of sour cream only to end up in lettuce country. Lettuce country. When you eat a burrito, you don't stand it up and bite down on it. Lengthwise, like an effing rancor. Humans can't usually dislocate their jaws, and I'm not an effing pelican. But you must think that's how it's done, since that would be the only effing way to take a bite of your crapstrosity and have it taste like a burrito. And guess what else, player? You probably can't guess anything, because I'm pretty sure you're just a mop with a hat on it that fell over and spilled some stuff into a tortilla. But just in case, here's what. Humans also don't eat burritos like an effing corn on the cob. Like a effing typewriter from one end to the other, a little at a time, and then ding, next line. But today I wish I tried that, because at least then I'd be able to eat some rice, then beans, then be like, hey beans, I'll be right back, just going over here to the guacamole for a second. Nope, my experience was more like, hey beans, it's just gonna be you and I for a minute until I can effing excavate the rice from beneath you, but by then you'll be a fading memory. Oh hey, I was wrong, I'm in the effing cheezosphere. Now rice must be next, I hope it's not another effing salsa pocket. You built this thing like a pack of lifesavers. And don't even frickin' think I'm about to open this stuff up and re-engineer your nonsense 90 degrees. I already put a hole in it with my mouth. Yeah, that's how I discovered you suck at looking at things. I am not going to do frickin' tortilla or origami to get this stuff back together, only to end up with a burrito that's been shot in the gut and is bleeding your ineptitude. What's that? I should ask you to mix it up first next time? Is this Jamba Juice? I don't want to drink my effing burrito through a bendy straw, and I don't want to pile a burrito soup in a flour can. I just want a burrito. In conclusion, you are the worst thing that has ever happened to the universe. You owe everyone everywhere an apology for this burrito abomination, and I hope your babies look like monkeys. Update for everyone who just said, just eat it with a fork. A frickin' fork? I didn't order the frickin' burrito salad. If anyone ever handed me a burrito with a fork, they would be wearing a brand new burrito hat from my fall collection 10 seconds later. That's like buying a car and having them hand you a frickin' wrench with the keys. Like, yeah, we know this car is going to explode and be spread across 8 lanes as soon as you hit the gas, but we gave you a wrench, so be cool. Jesus already gave me 2 burrito forks. One at the end of each arm. They're called hands. A fork. My God, I haven't cried since I was 6, but I'm sobbing now. People eat burritos with forks? God is sorry he made us. The England football team visited an orphanage in Russia yesterday. It's heartbreaking to see their little faces with no hope, said Vladimir, aged 6. Hashtag England squad.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Sisters and brothers are at some point attracted to each other, and that's facts. We all have a little crush on our brothers and sisters at some point. What kind of Leonard Skinner Confederate flag flying outside of every trailer Chevy... God, man, this man's got so much to say. What kind of Leonard Skinner Confederate flag flying outside of every trailer, Chevy symbol, chest tattoo, MAGA hat wearing, 6-year-old son still in diapers, life is like a box of chocolate, sweet tea brewing, moonshine running, Mountain Dew drinking, NASCAR loving, pile of empty Bud Light cans in the passenger seat of the beatdown pickup stuff is this. And scene. Girls I like versus girls that like me. Boy, who the F said I liked you?